You know that notion people talk about, that thing like, oh, it must be great to be really stupid because you're not going to sweat the details or whatever. Maybe, and I realized, oh, it's me. I'm really stupid. And nobody's told me. I'm really dumb, and nobody has the guts to tell me. And they're just like, let him live in his bliss.
I told you we'd get him.
Yeah.
I told you we would completely break him down.
Be honest, am I really stupid?
No, you're so smart.
Hi, I'm Will Arnett, and I am here on the Romesh Ranganathan show, and we are having a blast. You're listening to the Romesh Ranganathan show.
Shut up, Romesh.
I'm going to do an intro.
Okay.
If there's anything that's incorrect or whatever.
I'll just chime in.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Feel free to interrupt at any moment.
Fantastic.
Great. My guest today is an Emmy-nominated Canadian actor, writer and podcaster, best known for his roles as Job in cult sitcom Arrested Development, troubled horse actor BoJack in the animated Netflix series BoJack Horseman, and Devon Banks in 30 Rock. He has lent his unmistakable raspy tones to a number of animated movie roles, most notably as Lego Batman in 3 Lego movies, and commercials ranging from Reese's Peanut Butter Cups to GMC trucks. He also co-hosts the chart-topping podcast Smartless with Jason Bateman and Sean Hayes, and now he's given a starring turn opposite Laura Dern in Bradley Cooper's new film, Is This Thing On?, which premiered at the New York Film Festival to great acclaim. I'm delighted to welcome Will Arnett, everybody. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very well.
We've got a gift for you.
Please be chocolate.
It's not chocolate.
Okay.
Now, I know Is This Thing On is, loosely based on Bish.
Yeah.
Who's a Liverpool fan. Are you also a Liverpool fan?
I am massive.
This is... Well, have a look, actually, and then I'll tell you what it is, but it should be...
This candle smells like Jürgen Klopp. This is amazing.
Good, I'm glad you like it.
It's amazing.
It's inspired... It's a scent inspired by Jürgen Klopp. I don't know if it smells like him. I've never met him.
It doesn't.
So
I've hugged him.
Right, what was he like to hug?
Not exactly like this.
Right.
But he is phenomenal.
The notes say, made from 100% soy wax, this comes in a surprise scent inspired by the Liverpool manager himself. What were his teeth like in the
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I will say, he smells like aura.
Right. That makes sense. It does make sense. I've had the great pleasure and honor of being around him a few times. I actually, embarrassingly, still have pinned to the top of my Instagram page a video of me standing pitch side at Anfield and him coming out and us talking and then hugging, embracing, and then him sort of touching my face, and I'm just like, have a good game, Jürgen. I do love him. I'm a massive fan. I love what he does. He's super inspirational. He's a great guy. He's one of those people. He's a special guy. We were making Is This Thing On, and we FaceTimed and sent each other a couple of videos, and he sent me a text out of the blue right as we were starting, and he was like, so excited for your movie, Will. Good luck. Wishing you all the best. And it was such a boost. It was so incredible. Yeah.
To get that from Jürgen Klopp.
Yeah.
Amazing. Are you a Liverpool fan?
No.
Do you want a video from him?
I'd love a video from him, but not, it wouldn't mean the same to me as it does to you.
We'll see. We'll see. Are you
I'm an Arsenal fan.
Obvi.
Yeah.
Obvi. I knew it.
How did you know?
I just knew your demeanor.
Okay.
Yeah, undeserved confidence.
Yeah. Just sort of a self-satisfied, a privilege, a kind of a belief that something is coming.
Sort of well-spoken and don't worry, lads, it'll all work out. It'll be fine. Arsenal. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's very exciting at the moment, but let's just see what happens. Do you know what I mean?
We know what will happen. We've all watched.
But, it'd be a hell of a title race, whatever happens, right?
No. Best of luck.
I'm taking from the inferences that you think we're going to bottle it again, don't you?
I never said that. I just always talk like a lawyer.
You think it's too early to be top of the league and it's going to go tits up. That's essentially what you think.
Is that what you think?
That's what I think you think.
Oh, interesting. It's an interesting position. And what would make you think that? Like, how would you come to that conclusion? Are you basing that on history?
Well, look, it's happened the last few years.
So that is what you think.
No, it's not what I think. No, don't, because if
the prosecution rests.
No, but I don't want to put that out into the universe. I don't think that.
You just put it out. No,
I didn't. I'm taking it back, man. I didn't mean. I was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Would I be a good lawyer?
You'd be unbelievable.
Thank you.
Really good.
Thank you.
Really good.
That's actually all I want. All I want in this life is for people to say you'd be a good lawyer. I don't know why, because my dad was a lawyer originally,
right.
and I'm desperate for his attention.
No, you'd be a great lawyer. Man.
Thank you.
I really do think that, genuinely. Congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
This thing on? Released across the UK on January the 30th, loosely based on the life of John Bishop.
Yeah.
How did you cross paths?
With Bish.
With Bish, yeah.
Are you familiar? Do you know Bish?
I know him, yeah.
Great guy.
Well, like one of the nicest guys in comedy.
He is. He's one of the nicest people I know. He's such a thoughtful guy. One of the great byproducts of this whole thing is that I've become friends with John Bishop. And he is just such a really warm, supportive, funny, smart guy. He's very honest. He sort of tells it like it is. Which is not always a great personality trait,
no.
But in him it is, because what he has to share is generally pretty great. I was on a barge on a canal boat in Amsterdam having lunch. True story, and with a very sort of London media set, You know that sort of crowd.
I know that crowd. I'm not allowed in those sort of crowds, but I've seen them from afar. I would have been watching from the bank.
Yeah, it was very much a lot of those sort of glitzy names and a lot of people who know each other. Very sort of Mayfair at night crowd, and I have that's really disparaging. It's not true. They're all super nice people.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that. I went to this.
Would I be a good lawyer?
You'd be a very good lawyer.
Thank you. Because what I do is just sit back and then allow the person
and allow me to hang themselves.
Yeah.
But you learn from me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd be a good lawyer. You're a quick learner. So I went to Amsterdam. Again, these are all super nice people. I was just kind of messing around, but I'm in Amsterdam on this boat, and we have a mutual friend, Chris Tiquier, who said, I was sitting next to this guy. I said, Will, do you know John Bishop? No, he's a comedian. And John, I said, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. He hadn't sort of broken through to the U.S. This is 7 years ago. And he said, would you, John, tell Will how you became a stand-up? And he told me the story of how he came into stand-up comedy, which is quite well known over here because it's part of his set. He'll tell the story. And for those who don't know, right down the barrel, John was going through a divorce. He was worked in business, couldn't have been further away from entertainment or comedy or anything. And he was separated from his wife, living on his own, seeing his kids on the weekend. Monday, he drops them off and he's quite depressed for the week. Monday nights were always really tough. One night he decides to go for a drink by himself, goes to a pub. They're asking for a cover charge of £4 because they're doing open mic night. He doesn't want to pay, puts his name down so he can get in for free. And they end up calling him up. And as he said to me yesterday, it's the best £4 he's never spent. They call him up. He gets up there and he doesn't have anything to say. And he just says, I think I'm getting a divorce. And he starts speaking his truth. And he tells me the story how he starts going week after week and it starts making him feel better. And I thought it was really compelling. And that eventually one night, months into it, doesn't tell anybody in his life, his ex-wife comes to the club with a different group of work friends and sees him on stage. Hears his name and goes, what the fuck? And he comes down and he does this set and he tells a joke even about her. Afterwards, they meet at the bar and she says, that guy on stage, that was the guy I married. That was the sort of the spirit. And they start to have an affair. And anyway, that story just really got to me. A, because it's beautiful that they sort of reconnect and start trying to talking to each other. But B, because of the effect that stand-up had on him, and it was able to whether he used it as therapy or help him connect with himself and speak his truth and really change him at a later stage in life, I thought it was really beautiful. And that's what kind of got the ball rolling.
And then how does that become a film? How does that move towards you talking to Bradley Cooper about it and then that becoming a movie? What's the journey there?
So I started writing with Mark Chappell, who's my writing partner, who lives here in London. And we fly out and we meet John, ask him if we can write the story, and he says yes. And we're working on it for a couple of years, and it got to a point where there were a lot of forces that, people involved, studio, et cetera, who wanted it to be more of a rom-com.
Right.
And Mark and I really struggled with that. And we were kind of at this impasse. It kind of felt like the film was neither here nor there. Like you're either going to get into this relationship or it's going to be quite silly. And I was flying back to New York from Los Angeles with Bradley. He was working on Maestro at the time. And he asked me what I was working on. And I told him, and I said, can I send it to you just to sort of get your thoughts on it? Really like free notes. He had a break in Maestro and shooting. And he called me. I sent it to him. I emailed to him, and about a week later, he FaceTimed me and he said, I got to do this. He says, I want to do this if you'll let me. I want to come on and rewrite it. I want to direct it. He said, I have this image of your face the first time you're doing stand-up and the frame. I can see the movie. And I think that this is a real exploration into people and connection and the story of marriage and love lost and reconnection and all these things, these themes and hope and all this stuff. And there was talk over the years that maybe I wouldn't do it to get it made. It wouldn't necessarily be me. Studios or powers that be might not want me to be the guy. And Bradley said, no, you've got to do it. And I'm going to direct you. And I said, no. No, I said, yeah, great.
That would have been a cool move, though.
I said, let me think about it. I said, what else have you done?
So watching this film as a stand-up is adds another layer to it. And so John Bishop, when he did his gig, the film is that incident, the inciting incident, was it the Frog and Bucket?
It was a Frog and Bucket.
Yeah, which I've gigged at.
You have?
Yeah, and then where it happens for Alex in the film is at the Comedy Cellar, which I've also gigged at. I did the audition. So when you try out for the Comedy Cellar, I don't know if you're aware of this. Like, so it's not like this wasn't an open mic. This is like it's a professional night, and then you go in and they say you've got 5 minutes
to see whether or not you can
to see whether or not you can perform.
No, they just let me because I'm famous.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. How much did you immerse yourself in stand-up to do this?
Well, yeah, it's funny. That was, first of all, that was kind of the assignment to try to figure out what this guy would do. What would it be like to be his first time? Somebody who's got no connection to stand-up comedy. What would it be like the first time he goes on stage? We took some license. Obviously, they don't do open mics at the Comedy Cellar in that way, as you pointed out. But for our purposes, we realized that we just wanted to use the cellar to be our place. We wanted to establish the olive tree upstairs where all the comics hang out. As you know, that's a real place. Liz, whom you recognize, is the actual manager at the cellar. Well, I'll take you back. We reached out to Liz when we decided. Bradley was like, we have to shoot. We were camera testing at this outside the cellar in and around when we were in pre-production. And Bradley said, we got to shoot all of this here. We have to use the olive tree upstairs. We have to do it. And we secured it and as the location for all the stand-up. And we were hanging out with all those guys. Matt and those guys were always hanging out front, and Attell's always there. And I realized that I had to go up and start doing stand-up because I was going to have to go through all these beats and all these sets. So I said to Liz, can I go up? She said, of course, you can go up and try to. So I go up and I get introduced as Alex Novak every night. Bradley stopped me and he said, he quite literally put his hand on my chest and he said, we're doing something different. I went, right. And I went up there and really tried to take it all in as this guy who's never done it. It was really surreal.
It sounds horrific, by the way.
It was. And it was silent. And I say, I'm Alex Novak. Now, of course, some people laugh because some people knew who I was.
Yeah.
And
people would, some people would recognize me and think like, oh, yeah, hey, what's going on? And then I'm Alex Novak. And they're like, what is? And then, I think I'm getting divorced. And they're like, did he get remarried again? Like, I know he got divorced years ago, quite famously, And there were so many crazy nights where like I'd be there and Bill Burr would be sitting there like having something to eat. And he's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm doing this thing. And then like, well, I'm going to come down and watch you. And I'm like, okay. And I'm doing
That's
this.
That's what you need, isn't it? Bill Burr coming to watch you.
Yeah, not bad. Hey, Arnett, you did kind of okay. I mean, I love Bill. I just revere him.
So good, man.
He's so good. But lots of people, God, we had a night where Madonna went up.
Madonna went up.
Did
puns, I imagine.
No, you'd think. No, Schumer brought her.
Right.
And she said, Madonna's going to come. And of course, the audience went crazy. I think she did about 40 minutes.
Madonna did 40 minutes of stand-up?
Yeah. Well, she was reading from she had a binder of, and she was reading from a binder. I got to say,
good.
It takes a lot of gut. I missed a lot of it because we went around the corner, dodging the question. She went around I know how the internet works. It's not my first time seeing how people do pull quotes. You guys should have a clip button. Just clip. You know what I mean? It would be great. That people would love that, right? And there would be all the people who would love if I said something negative, and then all the people who are the army of fans who would hate me.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's the thing, isn't it?
So let's go for it.
Anyway, let's go. Yeah. Oh, let's. Oh, you'll be with me the whole way, right? When I fend this off for weeks.
Yeah.
Some comment. Honestly, what my feeling was about Madonna was like, fucking good for you. Because not sucks, but it's rough, as you know. I mean, you're a stand-up, so you've been doing it for a while. But when you first, like, going up there, and I don't care who you are, going up and standing up there with the idea that you're going to make people laugh is scary as hell.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ick. It's the very thing. Somebody's standing up in front of you, and their aim is to make you laugh.
Well, because you go
it's kind of disgusting. It's kind of rank, right? And then you're trying to go, oh, I've noticed this thing, and like, don't you think that's it's like fucking hell?
Yeah.
One of my kids even, like, my oldest son said to me, Dad, it's just so rank. Just like, what do you think about this? And have you noticed this? And I think this, and isn't that funny? What I think about this? It's like, it's disgusting.
You know what I say to my kids though? Yeah. How old are your kids?
Well, he's 16.
He's 16. Yeah. So I have a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old and a 5-year-old. But my 15-year-old, who's quite funny, Abel, he's a really funny kid, and I hate when people say that about their kids. And I would go the other way. My standard for him to be funny is not because I'm particularly funny, but just because I would never want people, the built-in thing. He's a really funny kid, and I think he's funnier than I am. His timing is sick, but he gives me shit. We're doing stuff for this movie, and some reviews come out, and he's like, man, it's better than Show Dogs, like this crap kids movie that I did, right? It's a little bit better than Show Dogs, I bet. And I said, let me tell you something, dude. Show Dogs paid for your goddamn braces.
Yeah. What?
Show Dogs just put food on the table, and it helped us pay the rent.
We've got a question from my mum, I believe.
From your mum?
From my mum, yeah.
Hi, Bill. I'm Romesh's mom. Romesh will be too embarrassed to say this, but he is a big fan of yours. He has a tattoo of one of your characters on his arm. Do you have any tattoos? If not, what will you get? I would love to know. Take care.
You're either going to find this really cool, or it's going to be the end of the interview.
Horseman.
That show changed my life.
How?
First of all, I started watching it, and I thought this is a really funny show. And then, as it sort of evolved, as the show went on, I got to it basically made me think about, but I've spent most of my life thinking I'm a shitty person, is the honest truth, right?
Okay.
And that's something I've had to battle with for a long time. And his examination of that, and the show's examination of that, and the level of ownership you take of that, and the philosophy of life and how you approach things. When I watched that show, what resonated with me is some stuff that I didn't want to recognise in myself in BoJack, basically. And some of those things were a victimhood about the things that he'd done wrong. You know, he's kind of, I think about the moment where he sort of hijacks that AA meeting and starts saying, I've got all these shitty things going through my head and blah, blah. And the way he talks about it is like he's a victim of those things rather than the perpetrator of those actions, right?
Not only that, sorry to cut you off. He sort of portrays himself often as the victim of the things that he is actually the perpetrator of. And there's also this idea of like owning up to what I've done and who I am. And you can start to tell a victim story about it, or you act like a martyr for simply owning up to being a shitty person.
Yes, yeah.
And you want credit for saying, yeah, I'm shitty, but I've owned up to it. Doesn't that make me a great person?
Yeah.
It's like, no, you did the shitty things in the first place. It's funny. There's been so much. I did a thing last night at the BFI. No applause. I did this thing, and it was like this thing called Life in Pictures. I kept joking that going into it, they were going to have to rename it Life in Picture, and for me, and we started talking about BoJack, and the moderator asked how many people in the audience had seen BoJack. And I'm not joking when I say 99.9% of the people put their hand up, and I found it quite astounding because I get a lot of questions about BoJack when I do anything.
Yeah.
And people draw, so I have a very funny relationship with it. And my friend who I work with, who I hate the word publicist, but that is what he does with me. He's a crisis manager. Not true. He always said, I think that you don't realize how many people really like BoJack and the effect. And for me, the difference is people always try to retroactively sort of retrofit. So anything I do, they go, it's very much like you sound like BoJack. I always say, of course I sound like BoJack because he has my voice. And it's really easy. I remember I bought a new house. I built this house and it was on a magazine, and the comments about like, oh, it's such a BoJack house. And I'm like, fuck off. I didn't write BoJack.
Yeah.
I played him. And then I ended up just recently coming full circle and realizing, I was like, you know what? I'm going to look at it differently. My perspective is going to be the reason they do that is because it was effective and it worked. And I'm going to start thinking like, I did a good job portraying this guy because people actually believe it, and it's something that's really resonated. So that's the way I kind of look at it. But I've had a very strange relationship. I've never talked about it in this way before, but I've had a very odd relationship with BoJack. I love the writing on BoJack. Raphael Bob Waxberg is one of the most brilliant, hilarious, gifted people I've ever worked with. And I thought that his writing was brilliant, and it really got into a lot of very tricky, emotional and moral questions and lots of things that a lot of other shows don't get into in a way that was very insightful and very real and very honest, and all served up in this sort of Trojan horse of animated Trojan horse.
Yeah.
But it's also been this thing that I'm like, this film, for instance, is this thing on? People say, oh, well, this guy's quite tragic. There's a sort of a BoJack. And I'm like, this guy couldn't be. This guy is a mid-level finance guy who's a good guy who loves his kids, who's getting divorced. The fuck are you talking about? You wishful thinking fucking asshole. They're like, but I love BoJack. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But the truth is I do. I'm happy they like it.
Yeah. No,
but it's funny. This is a very honest conversation, you guys.
Yeah. No, it's an amazing show.
I hope nobody listens to this.
Yeah. And listen, but based on how we've gone so far.
All the real fans are going to be like, what a BoJack answer. Guaranteed they're going to say, what a BoJack answer to the thing. I'm like, okay, you can't win.
Yeah. No, it's an amazing show.
But I agree. It is an amazing show. And I will say this. I agree. At the end of all that, I say I agree. One of the things that I find gratifying, if you will, is when people like you say, the show really impacted me. Tons of people who reach out and say, I was going through a difficult time. BoJack really helped me out. It gave me a lot of insight. I identified with it. These are the issues that I've been going, et cetera, et cetera. And so in that regard, I really enjoy it. And also it's gratifying when people say, it's really funny. It made me laugh. Whatever. They just on any level, I am grateful for that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to seem like I'm ungrateful. It's that aspect of it is just sort of dogged me.
I get that. I mean, all I was going to say is I think like the view from halfway down and that whole thing is one of the best examinations of that feeling that I've ever seen. And then when I said to you, it sort of changed my life. It changed the way I think about life. Actually, there's one scene in particular where Diane and BoJack go to visit Cuddle Whiskers. I don't know how much you remember it, but when they go to visit Cuddle Whiskers, and he's becomes really zen, and he's opted out of the whole rat race or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And he's achieved an inner peace or whatever, and he's realised that this life was whatever doesn't give him what he needs. And they are in the car afterwards, and they're sort of like, "Oh, that guy's that was crazy, wasn't it?" But you can tell that they think, "Oh my God, that's what we should be doing." Even that little thing made me think, God, yeah, it's that search for BoJack's search for validation from the industry or from fame or whatever. And how unrewarding that is, I just think is an amazing thing.
Yeah, again, the writing is brilliant. I love Raphael. We talk about working on other stuff all the time. There have been moments that we've talked about stuff, and he's written a thing. He's written a thing recently that I really like, and it did have a profound effect on me as well. Doing it, that was the other thing. It was like doing that show, recording that show. As you can imagine, ends up being quite an emotional experience going through all that stuff. And there would be moments when we recorded, it was just Raphael and me and the engineer, and we would talk through scenes and we would do, and there would be moments where we'd do a scene and I'd come out of the booth and he'd be standing there, and Raphael has this great energy. He's very much very kind of upbeat, weirdly. Yeah. And I'd come out and I'd be like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. And he's like, fun, right? and I'm like, I got in there and it's now 10 a.m. on a Wednesday and I've got to go through the rest of my day. Free Churro, that episode, that was a really, the writing on that episode was so good and made it really easy for me. We basically did that in one take. I not entirely because there were some things, but that was basically like just one long thing. And it was, for me, it was a great exploration. It really affected me, that thing, him going through that thing, talking about his mother in that way. Yeah, man, it's hard not to be impacted by it as an artist, if you will. Guys, I'm an artist, by the way, from now on.
No, well, you've been an artist the whole way through, actually.
Hey!
Yeah.
Anyway, so I love the guy. I do love the show. I just hate the sloppy connections people make.
Yeah.
Let's go to a commercial.
Sure. This episode is brought to you by ITV. Unsurprisingly, I know a fair bit about telly, so I reckon you can say that the best TV is the kind that you can connect with. And ITV has loads of it. I love that feeling that you're part of something. When you watch the right show, you're suddenly connected to millions of other people without even trying. And for me, that's The Masked Singer, the most surreal guessing game on earth. My whole family confidently claims they know exactly who's under the costume, but one week, they genuinely thought it was me. It wasn't. No one is ever right, not once, but that's the magic of it. The fun, the arguing, the chaotic togetherness. And then there's the stuff I watch with my family. My mum loves loose women. I genuinely think she'd be great on there because it means she'd be away from home. She already gives me her opinions every day, so she might as well be doing it on telly. And of course, the Women's Euros. Who could forget that magic moment, the whole country celebrating at the same time? Come on, you lionesses. That's when TV really gives you that sense of belonging, whether you're in a packed room or watching on your sofa. So whether you want to keep up with whatever people are raving about online, tune into a major national moment, or just make sure you're up to date for all that catch-up chat in the office, there's no place like ITV. Do you have any tattoos?
I don't have any tattoos.
And is that a thing that you feel... What I mean is, like, some people are like, I'm never going to mark my body.
I have a very controversial position on tattoos.
Go on.
Not very kind of.
Sure.
As if anything I say is
push the clip button.
Clip it. God, I say stuff that people. How many? First, let me ask you this before I get to dive in. How many tattoos do you have?
Probably, I would say 20-ish.
See, you might. So my this generalization that I've come up with.
By the way, I'm unoffendable, so you can say what you want.
Is sweeping and it certainly doesn't apply to you. And I'm saying this beforehand, no, because of this time that we've spent together, and it 100% doesn't apply to you. So there are a lot of exceptions to this rule. But I would say, on the balance,
sex offenders.
Yeah, how did you know?
I could just tell by the way you're building up to it.
No, it is that sometimes there's a direct. I've noticed sometimes with some people there's a proportionate sort of relationship between how many tattoos you have and how little personality you have.
Yeah,
and I find a lot of people who have a ton of tattoos often are super fucking boring.
Yeah,
like truly boring people.
Yeah.
And I find that like to be just quite bland.
Yeah, it's manufactured edge. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Right?
Of course, it's manufactured edge. So that's right. That's a great way of putting it. I told you guys he'd say something good. These guys, it's funny because they work for you and they've been under. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it is, and so like and it's that like they have to go out of their way, and some of the people I know are like kind of who are the most interesting or the most sort of eccentric look the most normal.
Yeah. I get you. I get you. And it's also a nightmare for if you do any kind of acting.
Yeah. So if you work it on, you do anything, you got to cover it up because you have to.
Well, I worked with. I was on. You know Tom Davis, one of my best friends.
Is he?
Yeah.
I love Tom Davis.
Yeah.
I love Tom Davis.
So
he's so funny.
I was in his sitcom, King Gary. I played his next door neighbour, and we went on his stag do in the thing. And my character's like kind of an annoying kind of, just really highly strung kind of prick that's kind of become a nemesis of his. But I get loose on his stag do. And so one of the things is I jump into the swimming pool, like jump in through this like ring in the swimming pool. I'm just like losing my shit. But obviously I've got tattoos. My character doesn't have tattoos. So they had to it was like...
hours, right?
Yeah, it was hours I had to prep it.
Yeah.
But then... every time I jump in the water, it's then compromised. So then they literally airlift, like almost a team of like makeup artists come in, lift me out the pool, and then they put me in the thing, top it up, and then we go for another take. And I just thought it's not been worth it.
No, it's not. That is also one of the reasons I don't do it because of that. But if I were to get a tattoo, to answer your mom's question,
sure, thank you.
I would. There's a very famous hockey player in Canada. It means nothing to you guys. I'd probably get one of him across my back. And I said,
across your back?
Yeah. Only if my beloved Toronto Maple Leaf Hockey Club were to win the Stanley Cup finally in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I would get a tattoo of this guy, Wendell Clark, who's retired a long time ago, but of him holding the Stanley Cup.
Okay. That's good.
Or Jürgen Klopp.
Or Jürgen Klopp.
Yeah. Or your mum.
Or my mum.
Yeah. For asking the question.
Okay.
Out of respect.
Sure. So, okay. No, I think that's sweet. Really sweet.
Or your mum and Jürgen Klopp.
Great.
Just like
embracing?
On a walk.
Or both of them lifting the Stanley
Both
Cup.
lifting Wendell Clark lifting the Stanley Cup. Or lifting her.
Like a cup. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you for that.
Maybe one of your listeners who's into tattoos, who's angry with me now, could send in some ideas.
That'd be great. If you have got any ideas for a tattoo, please do get in touch. We are going to play a game now, Will.
Okay.
Called Misquoted. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to read some quotes allegedly by you, and then you're going to tell me whether you said this or not. Okay?
Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
Because I have seen quotes that I'm like, I never said that. Like I never said the thing about tattoo people are bland. And I never said anything about Madonna.
It's Misquoted. Okay, so here's your first quote. Pure and unadulterated success is not as funny as failure.
I did say that. I think I did say a version of that.
Yeah.
I should have said that.
You said it to Vanity Fair in 2015.
Yeah. It's true.
When you said, what was the context of that? What do you remember? Or what do you mean by that? Sorry.
I was just saying that all my failure is way funnier than everybody else's success.
Yeah.
That's how I just deal with my failure.
Right.
My profound failure.
It's a weird thing because whenever because I always thought of the love of failure to be like a particularly British trait, and sometimes when you talk to when you have meetings about comedies and stuff like that, a lot of the time one of the things that it's always said is that your character is too much of a loser. It's like British people love just absolute losers, right?
Yeah, it is. It's way funnier. And if you have somebody who's successful, they have to be flawed. That's way better.
Yeah.
There's nothing funny about people who are killing it.
No, that's why I'm doing so well. Okay, this is your next one. Were you about to say something?
No.
I don't consider myself a dramatic actor per se. I don't consider myself a dramatic actor per se.
I probably did say that.
It's very close to what you said. You said, I don't consider myself a comedian per se.
Ah, interesting. Well, yeah, so it's adjacent to what I said.
It is adjacent, yeah. Do you think that's unfair to do something adjacent?
Yeah,
we're experimenting with that in this game.
Well, because from now on, I'm just going to say, I don't think I said that. Because then, why would I? It's a fool's errand to say.
It really is.
Because it sounds, because now I'm sort of taking credit for saying something where I'm being sort of quite self-deprecating.
Sure.
But I don't, is the truth. And I don't consider myself a comedian, and I don't consider myself a dramatic actor. And the funny part is, and I'm not even meaning, I don't consider myself, and I'm not even being, I'm not sort of being humble. I don't really think about it.
Yeah.
Is that fair? I mean,
as in what you are?
Yeah, I don't really think about my condition a lot.
No, I agree with that. I think that's a healthy way to be.
Yeah.
I think you're somebody that does this thing, and then you might do this thing. But I
think when I was younger, I used to think about it more, and you think about like how people perceive you or what you're doing and stuff like that. And I'm just, to quote Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon, I'm too old for this shit.
I get it. He was 42 when he said that.
I know.
Isn't that depressing?
Well, as it turned out, he wasn't too old for that shit.
No.
He lied.
He was actually prime age for that shit.
He was right in his...
Yeah. It would have been a better line if he said, I'm age appropriate for this shit.
They ought to go back. I'm just right for this shit.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But I do agree, I totally agree with you in that thing of, speaking of fool's errands, I think it's a fool's errand to go, in my opinion, I'm a comedian or I'm an actor or whatever. I think it's mad.
I do. And to sort of extend that even further, I have this thing when people say, I'm the type of person who, I reject that. We're all the type of person who anything.
Yes.
And just what we decided. And so why are you fighting for your limitations?
Mm. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Here's your next one.
Okay.
I'm a total optimist. I always just believe things are going to work out, and they usually do.
God, did I say that?
You did in 2021 on the Today Show.
Wow. I did the Today Show in 2021?
Yeah.
What was I
Congrats
doing?
on that, by the way.
Thanks, man. It was a big moment
for
my family. what was I doing in 2021 on the Today Show?
It must have been going well by the sounds of it.
I guess if I was on the Today Show.
Well, but not even that. It's just the quote. Are you an optimist?
I am an optimist, but I'm also a realist. I do all this. We joke around and stuff. All of it is jokes, of course. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of making my way through this life like everybody else, if I'm being honest. I'm just trying to get from day to day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my son tickets to the Rams game or to the Eagles game next week in LA. He's 17. The only reason he called me last night because he was like, "Hey, Dad, can you get me tickets?" I said, "I think so." And he goes, "I love you, not because of this." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay if it's because of this."
God.
I'm doing that. I gotta go back. I got a 5-year-old that's crazy. All this sort of stuff. Like, I'm just trying to get through it. And then, you know what I mean? I am an optimist because I do think that no matter what happens, things are going to be okay. Although the great Robert Downey Jr. said to me once a couple of years ago, he said, nobody wakes up happier in the morning to be themselves than you. And I think it was a compliment.
It is a compliment. That's a good way to be.
But part of me then made me think like, am I just sort of like this kind of giddy idiot?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, I don't think you have got that vibe.
You know that notion people talk about, that thing like, oh, it must be great to be really stupid because you're not going to sweat the details or whatever. Maybe, and I realized, oh, it's me. I'm really stupid. And nobody's told me I'm really dumb, and nobody has the guts to tell me. And they're just like, let him live in his bliss.
I told you we'd get him.
Yeah.
I told you we would completely break him down.
Be honest, am I really stupid?
No, you're so smart. You're one of the smartest guys we've had on this.
You could be a lawyer.
I am in a full-fledged crisis right now. This is...
Holy shit.
Fucking hell.
Okay. This seems like I'm being glib, but my most unpopular opinion is not having an opinion. We're in this never-ending opinion race that's driving us towards insanity. The truth is I don't really care anymore. I vote, so I do what I think is right. I don't need to weigh in on everything.
Boy, I hope I said that.
You did say that.
Did I?
Yes. February 2020. GQ. How does that feel?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Smart guy. Huh? Clever boy.
Oh, I was saying more of the GQ of it all. GQ. Stop winking? Okay. It is true. There was a lot of... I'm not on Twitter anymore at all. I mean, I just don't even look at it as a cesspool. But even doing this, like sometimes even answering you with some of these things and promoting, I'm kind of loath to give my opinion on stuff and that's indicative. I just... The advent of... social media has just made that we just live in this world that everybody's got their fucking opinion. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, who cares what I have to say? Like, no, but like, it doesn't matter.
I know, but I do think that we are in a... It's a really weird thing where I don't know if it's social media or whatever, but you're not allowed... I don't think you're... It doesn't feel like you're as allowed to say, I am not well informed enough to give an opinion on this, or I don't have a take on this. You have to have immediately a take on something.
It's funny you say that. So recently, I've spent my life, and in doing this film actually taught me a lot of things. I learned a lot in the last year, more than I have in the last 20 years. And one of the things I learned was that I don't know that much. I've spent my life being a fucking know-it-all. And I realized like, I don't know as much as I think I do. And it's kind of, it's taking me to like age 55 to realize that. And I know it's hard to believe I'm 55 and I'm your words now. But it is hard. I do realize like, who cares? I don't know anything. Like I live in this. I need to be in the student section more. I just need to.
Yeah.
What am I doing? And it sort of took me a long time to get to this place. To kind of I bored the hell out of Conan a couple weeks ago. I was doing his podcast again. And, I thought I'd return the favor. And, I mean, I love him to death. But I quoted this book, this Sally Rooney book called Beautiful World, Where Are You? This is like the 80th time I've mentioned this, but it's really stuck with me. And there's a writer in it. The book is about these two friends writing emails to each other, and the other things happen. Beautifully written. And one of them, this famous writer talks about this interview she does, and her boyfriend, she says to the interviewer that her boyfriend has never read her novels, and the interviewer puts the story out saying this famous writer, her boyfriend never reads her works. And then there's some comments on Twitter, and this person says, she deserves better than that boyfriend. And this fictitious writer in the story writes the thing. She says, I realized basically the gist of it was, we live in a place now where this person who doesn't know me thinks they know what's best for me.
Yeah.
Not only do they think that, they write it out, they say it publicly, and other people endorse that opinion. And in that sense, she and all of us and all these people are insane. She thinks that she knows what's better for a person she doesn't know what she needs, what she thinks, blah, 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 as much as she would about somebody she does know. And that is fucking insane. And we all live in it, and we live and die by it. So we all have opinions on shit, and other people endorse this stuff about stuff that we know nothing about.
Yeah.
I don't care about people's personal lives, and I don't care what you think about it online. I didn't watch the Tiger Woods documentary. I started watching because I was like, it's none of my fucking business. And I don't give a shit what you think about whether you approve or disapprove of what he did.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you know?
Yeah.
Is it too much? Is it too much, guys?
No, it's actually it's exactly the right level.
God, I'm going to get killed for this podcast. Louis Van Pelvis is outside. He's like, what are you doing? We're supposed to be talking about this film.
Here's
Do I
the
get
last
final edit on this?
Yeah, well, you've got the power to veto anything you like, actually, is the truth. It's not a gotcha.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Nobody ever needs
That's
to know.
what we do on Smartlist, too.
Yeah, nobody ever needs to know you even mentioned Madonna.
Okay, good. Is that true?
That's true.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
We've had a few guests. We had a guest, a comedian. She asked us to not air her episode
At all.
Which we were like, fuck, it costs us money, and the guys we all had to do it, and blah blah blah, and because she was worried because she thought that she was up and coming.
Oh, I see.
And I won't tell you until we're absolutely cut.
Yeah.
But we were like, you're good. And turns out we were right.
No, but I think,
And one other very famous comedian who I'll tell you after, who is a fucking rank asshole recently. And we cut him off after 10 minutes and said, thanks so much, and ditched him.
Seriously?
Yeah, and you'll be blown away by who it is.
I'd love to have the bullies to do
Because you'll be like, how did you get Bill Cosby? All right, keep going.
Okay, this is the last quote. It wasn't until I moved to New York that I realized I had a voice that could make me some serious dough.
I think that's probably true.
You said something like...
Ish, in the ballpark to that.
Yes. It wasn't until I moved to New York that people mentioned my voice to me. Maybe in Canada, people don't really compliment each other. Actually, a member of my extended family said to me, people pay you for that voice?
That's true. At my grandfather's funeral.
What?
At my grandfather's funeral, my grandfather, whom I adored, who is like my best friend. Now, we're going to get everything on this. I'm going to end up crying. My grandfather, who I adored, he died in 2009. I was 39 years old, so I did get almost 40 years with him. The greatest guy. And she knew. I adored him. Such a great guy. He died at 97 and the church was packed, which is rare because most of their peers have gone. Young people and stuff. And I met all these people who he had impacted their lives. All these people who I didn't even know he knew. An amazing guy. And I and my sisters, did readings at his, to eulogize him. And I'm in a really tough state. And an in-law of somebody in my family, as they were people were coming along, and you sort of do the receiving line. And I was really and I had spoken, and she said to me, she says, "Oh, people pay you for that voice? You sounded quite," and I was like, fucking unreal.
Shitty, right?
That's shitty.
Yeah.
That is shitty. I mean, listen, I don't want to judge, but that seems shitty. But I don't understand how.
But it helped with the free churro episode.
Oh my God. I bet.
Helped me connect.
Yeah. Holy shit. So look, one other thing I wanted to talk about the film, we talked about the relationship stuff. We talked about the comedy. The kids in this film, unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
There is a moment, and there's a moment that actually, because Ben and I went to watch this film together, it hit me right in the feels, man. And it's when one of Alex's kids finds the notebook and he's asking him about it, and then just sort of breaks down, I guess. It's one of the, oh man, it as a dad watching that, it was really, it chokes you up that bit. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't ever want my kids to have that experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could relate to that in the sense that, like, you know, for all the sort of the joking that I do or whatever, you know, I live in a world where my kids can look me up and they can kind of see stuff or see quotes that I've made or whatever. And I've thought about it more recently. And so anyway, certainly that kind of hit me on a bunch of levels doing that scene, and we thought it was really, really important. But yeah, it's a great moment, and those kids are really amazing.
The kids are great, and I think the way that parenting is depicted in those circumstances that they're going through is pretty. It's just, it's amazing. Like, you know, it's like it's really well done.
Well, you know how, you know, again, it's about wanting to protect them and be honest with them in that way, as honest as he can be in a way that's appropriate. And I've had moments where I've had to kind of, I didn't really learn this myself from my own parents, whom I adore, who are great, but this idea of apologizing to your kids or being open enough to go like, hey, I've had a lot of moments, and I've had them recently, where I've had to say to my kids, hey, I might not have done this the best. Maybe I didn't say the right thing. I'm sorry this is a confusing time or whatever. And I get it. And just try to, you know, and just try to be honest about it.
Yeah.
I've been there as a parent a lot.
Well, I had a discussion with my friends about having a moment exactly like that, where it's happened on more than one occasion, but I called something wrong and, you know, had a go at one of my kids for something, and then it turned out, later on, first of all, I'd overreacted in the first instance, and secondly, I'd got it wrong. So I just had to go and say to him, look, man, I was acting on what I thought was the right thing at the time. I'm tired, and so I probably, you know, it's disproportionate what I did, and I'm not an expert. I'm trying to do my best, and I can't tell you it won't happen again, because it might. You know, in fact, it's highly likely.
Dude, I had an almost identical experience not long ago.
Right.
And I was so sure I was right, and I had to do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, one of my friends said to me, there's two schools of thought, because one of my friends said to me, but you're showing them you're fallible then. You know, like he was, you know, you're supposed to be, what his take was, you're supposed to be an authority figure, which, you're supposed to be an authority figure. And so now you're allowing them to question everything you do, which I think is okay. Do you know what I mean?
I do too. I don't want to be Eric Honecker to my kids. Okay? And I don't know the last time somebody brought up Eric Honecker on your show.
It was it episode before last?
It was just, quite recently.
The big question I want to ask you is, watching you on stage as Alex Novak, it felt like you look like a comic.
Oh.
You've got the, you know, and the other thing I'd say is you look like a comics comic. And what I mean by that is you look like the sort of comedian that other comedians go, I love that guy, you know?
Really?
Actually, and you know who is, and I was really delighted you had him in the film, Dave Attell, who's obviously one of the greats, right? Best.
One of the all-time greats.
Skanks for the Memories, right? His special, I think it might be up there with the funniest hours of stand-up in history.
He told this joke that we ended up cutting out that I don't know why we cut out, because it didn't fit, because we had to get to in the film where Alex does a set and then Dave comes up after him.
Yeah.
And Dave ends up making fun of Alex Novak. Like you can just sort of hear him. And then we had him telling a joke that again, we just didn't have time for it.
You gave him the joke, or is this in the tell?
No, this is his joke.
Right.
No, you don't need to give David tell jokes.
No, sure. Why did I say that? Cut that, don't clip that.
Yeah. Oh, you can say don't clip that? I didn't even know there was an option. Fuck. So Tal goes, he goes, I'm going to butcher it, but I don't know why this joke has stayed with me. I find it so funny. It's so dumb. I was at Subway the other day, and I looked around, it was just me and the guy making my sandwich, and I said, "Guy, take the gloves off." raw dog my sub. I thought that is such a funny joke.
It's such an Attell thing to say as well.
God, is it funny?
Fuck. Will, it's been incredible to have you on, man.
Yeah, it's been super fun.
You've been so open and full with your chat, so thank you so much.
Well, it was, and take this the right way, it was punching down.
Now, the team would love to have like a viral moment or some sort of exclusive.
I give you like 30.
Yeah. No, you have actually. Like a hot take.
Oh, a hot take. I have so many, but they're like really unpopular.
Right.
If you want to post anything on the internet, any kind of comment, anything, you have to give your full name, address, and phone number.
I agree.
It's the only way forward.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Then let's see.
It's Will Arnett, everybody. That was so good, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Romesh Ranganathan Show. Now, I hope you don't mind me getting serious for a minute, but I've been told that some people are watching this podcast, enjoying it, and still haven't subscribed. And that is, well, first of all, it's unacceptable. But secondly, you're going to miss episodes, which is very silly. So follow and subscribe to the Romesh Ranganathan Show on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. We drop new episodes every Monday and Thursday. On Thursdays, I'm joined by my mum, widely regarded as the audience's favourite Ranganathan. Sorry, Dinesh. And we answer your questions, your stories, and your family dilemmas. Send your questions and stories to podcast@rangabee.com. Voice note or text on 0731 623 355. That's 0731 623 355. We genuinely love hearing from you. And there's a good chance you'll hear yourself on the show. That'd be exciting. A little bit of fame for you. You can walk around looking at members of the public like I do, like they're lesser human beings. See you next time.